You know, I'm not gonna lie, when I first started watching this movie, I was like, yeah, can we watch something else? It's trash. I already know it. And then, I was told, let's wait a second, it could get better. And, it did. Senior year. So, this basically starts this Australian transfer student named Stephanie, who is kind of new to the high school, and she becomes this, loser to popular girl transformation. And one of her arch nemesis don't really like that, so she tries to sabotage her and puts her in a coma. 20 years later, though, she kind of wakes up, and she still has the mind of an 18-year-old because she's been asleep for 20 years, but it's 20 years later, and then she kind of goes back to high school and kind of lives her last year of senior year. Hence the movie. Wow. Now, I'm not gonna lie, even though I was trying so hard not to spoil it, the beginning is just so worthless that it doesn't even matter if I accidentally spoiled it. You'll thank me, it's okay. It's not really that matters. You just need it for context, the beginning. That's the only reason the beginning is important. The beginning is very stereotypical, very, poorly written. It's just every single teenage drama movie ever wrapped into one. But, then we get to the meat of the film. And they definitely took lots of steps up, because it would have been a struggle to sit through this film if it was the whole way through. It was the beginning. But it wasn't. So there's one thing that I noticed throughout the film before I even get through any of the character analysis or anything. I realized that this is one of those rare anti-woke films. And the reason that there isn't a lot of anti-woke films is because lots of times the critics tend to hate those movies, a lot, regardless of how good or bad they are. Now, I'm definitely not going to say this is oh my gosh, the stellarest movie ever, but some of these critics put 22%, and I'm like, what movie are you watching? I promise you, there are movies that are 22%, and this is not one of them. But it's because of their cult mentality. But, it's whatever. I don't really care for the politics in films, but there wasn't even really that much, to be fair, so I like good balances. It's okay to put a political message, as long as you're not too obvious or overbearing. And this movie does a good balance of that, so I want to give it good props. Even though it probably wasn't even the intention. But fun fact, this is the same director that did Love, Victor, so if that tells you something. Kind of ironic. But either way, I think Rebel Wilson, who plays Stephanie, when she's older, is a pretty decent actor. So, any movie, she gets put in a few bad movies, don't get me wrong. But this movie, I think she helped carry it because I don't really feel like there were many strong characters in this film besides her, the principal, and the arch nemesis. Besides those three, sure, you could say Seth was kind of alright, but the rest of the characters are a bit basic. Oh, and the arch nemesis daughter. That's another good character. Her and the main character. Good characters. The rest kind of are just too stereotypical, too on the nose, no one is exactly a bad character, but it's just there's so much more to be desired in the characters besides the ones that are mentioned. But honestly, I think the plot, while it could definitely have reached more beyond, definitely did not flop as much as I thought it would. When you look at the reviews, it's first, there was an audience and critic gap by 30%. So you automatically know that the critics are deflating the score stupidly. Because, for some reason, audience sometimes knows more than the critics. But I still think this is a decent watch. I have to give it a score that might feel a bit high, but let me explain. There were a lot of moments in the movie that kind of were unique. Even though the movie itself doesn't feel unique, there was different moments and parts of the movie that I was like, wow, I really didn't expect this to happen, or wow, this is really crafted really nicely. It's really weird, because this is a C movie, but it has elements of an A movie, which make it a little bit difficult to rate. So, I have to give it a 7. Sorry if that sounds high. If you've already seen it, let me know if you think that's high. I personally, let's say 7 minus. Let's say light 7. because I just feel like it's enjoyable enough where the average viewer can get a kick out of it, but it just doesn't have the crafted talent of like stronger films. But either way, let me know if you think that's a too high rating, and if you want to see some more movie reviews, be sure to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.